Hey everyone, it's Julia, the Nomadic Crafter. Hello, haven't talked with you in a while, so I hope you're well out there. And we are very well here in our van. Today's video is called Van Life During Pandemic, Easier or Harder? It's an interesting question because this lifestyle is so different. Now, before I go into it, I'm going to just show you the van real quick. For those of you that haven't seen, my dog Bambi and I live in a 96 Dodge 2500 van. And we're pretty happy with it. Had this van for about a year. Hi, Bambi, you little sweetie. How you doing there, Bambi? This is our van, and we've been living in the van during this pandemic. And of course, this lifestyle is so different. I wanted to sort of talk about how it's easier and how it's harder, because it's really both. And this video is going to be from the perspective of a city dweller, which is what I am now. And it's going to be different for someone out on BLM lands. Van life during pandemic is easier for a lot of reasons. And the first one is that not that much has changed. We're already, if you're in the city, you're driving around, parking in different places. And so you're out and about. You're not stuck at home. Your norm perhaps hasn't been changed drastically. Because, I think about everybody out there with a job who's home now. And I get messages from y'all about baking and sewing and gardening and stuff. And it's just awesome. But yeah, that transition must be pretty hard in a way, and definitely makes life different because you're totally out of your norm. You're not going to work and seeing all those people and working in that place and then coming home. You're home all the time. And if you have children, that's a lot different too, because they're home. So that really is different. But for a van dweller, I'm still just at home in the van where I was before, and I'm not parked in one place. Still moving around as it was before. So really not that much has changed. And again, if you're out on BLM lands, like Bob Wells was saying, not that much has changed for him. Many van dwellers, of course, are self-sufficient. So we already have that going on where we're not dependent on our houses for all of our needs, especially if you have power in a van. And a lot of us work online. So that's another thing. We're not already going to a job, so since we're working online, it kind of suits the situation. And that's one of the things about van life that's so good for modern, unpredictable times, is that it's so flexible in so many ways. There's a lot of less traffic out there right now, and in the city areas, the grocery parking lots, there is a lot more parking around. I wouldn't say near residential areas because everybody's home with their vehicles, but there's a lot more parking around in general, a lot less traffic, and a lot less noise. It's pretty amazing. As far as van life, laws and whatnot, like in San Diego, it's been a lot easier. There has been no harassment about parking or anything, not for me or anybody around me, that as far as I can tell. And my friend told me that they are no longer able to give tickets for living in a van right now. And I don't know if he just meant OB or whatever, because that's where it's usually, sort of a hot button issue more than inland where I am now. But yeah, it's really been easy parking and just not worrying about getting harassed. It just seems really, really nice. There's bigger issues going on. You know what I mean? I thought they were going to come down on us a lot more, but they haven't. So that's been really good. And finally, one of the things that really makes van life much easier during a pandemic is that most of us, or many of us, are living on less already. Even the van lifers that have, that travel a lot, the reason they're able to do that in large part, besides having big channels that provide them with a lot of money to do that, is that, and they're documenting it for the viewers, is that you're already living on less just living in a van in general, because having a house or renting is so expensive. But basically, the adjustment to living during a pandemic and having our work situations change is not that hard because we're living on less already. I guess I said that. So let me see. Now, let me talk a little bit about how it's harder living in a van right now. And it certainly is overall weird. It's just weird being out here in general. Living in a van, that's always a weird thing. But at first I thought it was going to be hard because no one was going to be around and I'd stand out like a sore thumb. But that's not the case. It's been fine. But what is harder is that there are no facilities open. No facilities for using the bathroom, for using a sink, for using a beach shower. There are no facilities open for charging devices. And that is pretty difficult. As well, no facilities open for emptying a toilet or piddle pails. And I don't want to dump it just by a bush or something, you know. So really, and as you all know, I have a studio, and there's sort of a caveat with me because I've been very lucky to have this studio where I can do all of these things. But every time I try and leave the studio and go out and about, I find within a day and a half that everything's filled and there's nowhere to empty it, and that all of my devices I'm having trouble driving enough to keep them charged. So I don't have a power source, which I will be getting, but I can see, you know, how strange it is that you can't just go into a Starbucks and charge your computer and work in there for a while. I'm constantly parked outside fast food places and Planet Fitness to get online, but never going into them. So it's a little bit strange. The parks and beach being closed is very strange because I spend a lot of time there, as I've mentioned. But just not being able to get out into nature, I feel a little bit more holed up in the van than I usually do. And Bambi and I try and find places in the city, not parks and beaches, part of the city, that have green lawns, that have nice walking places, that have big trees, and try and get some of that nature in because the parks and the beaches are closed. If you consider traveling like we're deciding when to head north, none of the rest areas are going to be open for parking or for going to the bathroom or using the facilities. And none of the places to visit are open along the route. So that's going to be pretty strange. Another hard thing is because we don't know what the supply lines are going to be like for getting supplies. I've been storing up with extra food and supplies and fuel and dog food and everything and keeping my tank full, which I'm very lucky to be able to do. Thank God. Because you never know what's going to happen with that. So carrying around a lot more stuff is a little bit harder too. And I think it's important to do that as a van dweller, but it's taking up some space that I otherwise wouldn't have it take up. So, and finally, one of the hardest things about this is that there's nowhere to go. And this is the same for you guys in houses and apartments as well. There's you have to make up a reason to go somewhere. Okay, there's a laundromat where I live, but I'm going to go to the other laundromat so I can get out of the house. Or thank God I have a dog so I can walk my dog all the time, which for me, having a dog in a van during pandemic makes things a lot easier because, and in general, because I always have some reason that I'm somewhere. Because I have a dog, and it allows me to get out and keep active and get out into nature as best as I can. So if you have a dog at home, you know, you have some place to go, but it's weird not being able to go somewhere. I'm going to see my favorite band and go dancing, or I'm going to meet a friend at a cafe, or I'm going to the dog park to bring my dog, or, you know, all you can do really is go shopping unless you're in any essential services and you're still working out there. It's pretty weird. So again, I wanted to come back around to this caveat for me. If I didn't have that studio, I don't know what I'd do. Honestly, it would be a lot harder for me. But because I have my sewing studio and it has water and a place to empty everything and charge everything and Wi-Fi, I've been very, very lucky to have that, and that's why we're here now. Oh, and let me backtrack and say I'm so lucky to be able to continue working because I work online and because of making the masks and everything else that I'm filling my stores with right now. Making these masks has saved my income right now. So I want to put a special thank you out there to those who have bought masks And I hope you enjoy them. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it's also fun to just be part of the effort. And also, if I ever do get stopped, I can be like, no, I'm doing essential work. I'm making these masks and shipping them out. Every time I'm at the post office and the security guy comes by, I'm like, if anybody says anything to me, I'm shipping out masks. That's essential. So anyway, that's been really fun, and it's totally allowed me to have an income, whereas a lot of the other clothing and stuff isn't selling, but some of it is. So that's really good. Now, I have one friend who lives in a van who's a house cleaner, and she's lost all her house cleaning jobs. So that really makes it really different for her. And she lives in the city too, so it's a little bit weird. She doesn't have places to go as much either. But since she's prepared, she's doing okay. She is, unlike many Americans, has been prepared for any situation coming up, because she's been through the ringer in the past. So she was smart about this, and she's doing well. Now, I have another friend, and not to say he's not doing well, but he's been staying at a friend's house, parked at a friend's house for a while, and he can only do that for so long. But he's also an artist, poet, book writer type, yoga person. So he has lost a lot of his work too. And I know that he has a big van payment. So, I'm not sure how he's doing with that, but I hope he's doing well out there. So different people in vans have different situations that make it harder or easier as well. So yeah. Now, to close out, I would like to say, okay, now I know I said this wasn't a van life channel before and that I might change my name. Well, apparently it is a van life channel, and I just can't get over putting van life in the title. That's what gets me a lot of people to come to my channel so they can see what this channel is about and see if they like it or not. So yeah, I said all these things in that video, and I'm not going to change the name Nomadic Crafter for now. So I guess I just needed to sort of shake the rug out a little bit there. So anyway, I guess it is a van life channel. Now, what's happening for us next? I've been thinking a lot about going, of course. Gas is super cheap right now. I just saw today it was $2.56 a gallon. Come on. But first, I've been paying for premium because I wanted to clean my van out a little bit, and we took a few long drives, because the next thing for me is the smog test, which I'm hoping to pass, and then pay for the registration, and I'll be all up on that for a year. And again, I'm very lucky to have the permanent address here in San Diego, because that would be a whole nother bear if I didn't. I've gotten so much accomplished this last 2019 and the beginning of this year in terms of getting everything settled here in California, and my name change, and changing vans, and just re-registering in a new state, and all of these things. So this next thing is the smog test. And like I said, I'd like to head out soon while there's still not a lot of traffic, and while gas is really cheap, but not so soon that I don't get to stop anywhere and see anything. So I can feel things are loosening up, and I'm just feeling less fear. So I'm thinking about heading out. I just want to get as much work done as possible and get everything in order. We do need to get going, heading up to Northern California, where I grew up in Sonoma County, went to school in Humboldt County. I was born in San Francisco. I've been wanting to go back to the Russian River area for a while, and then head north up into Mendocino and further north after that. And I've been wanting to do that for a long time. So we are going to get going here at some point soon, once I finish getting my vehicle in order. And after all, I have to be in Napa in September for a Widespread Panic concert, or 2 or 3. Yes, indeed. Widespread Panic, my favorite band, will be playing in Napa, California, of all places, in September, beginning of September, and I have a ticket. I only bought one ticket so far, because I discovered as soon as I bought it, up pops a screen that says this won't be sent out until August 6th, after August 6th. It's going to be sent to San Diego, but I should already be up north, so then I'm going to have my brother send it to me, and it might take 10 to 14 days to get there, and then it's going to be cutting it close, and I don't know where an address is to send it to in the first place. So I realized Ticketmaster has mobile entry, but it says it didn't offer that as an option for this show, so I need to get a hold of Ticketmaster, which is kind of hard right now because everybody's canceling concerts, and they're super busy, and their live chat is not working. I need to contact them and figure out how I can do mobile entry for this show. There's a chance that they'll cancel it or reschedule it. And I would like to go to 2 of the 3 shows, and I'd like to get that second ticket before they sell out, which as things are loosening up, they might sell out soon. But I just don't know how to get at the ticket for the show if I'm not going to be here. I don't want to wait until the last minute to drive up there and make it a big rush. Plus, I'll be super tired from traveling and won't be able to dance. So that's the caveat with that. I don't really know what's going to happen, but I'm so glad that Widespread Panic is playing in Napa, and I'm so excited to be able to go see them. If I had my way right now and they had a tour, I would go on tour. Thank you all for watching my video. Is it harder or easier living in a van during a pandemic? If you haven't subscribed to my channel, there'll be more videos coming up, so please do. And there's a lot of old videos to choose from as well. I have over 700 videos on this channel. Not all of them are good. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please do give it a thumbs up. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you're doing well out there. It's nice to be back and talk with you again. I guess it's been about a week. Sorry about that. But we are fine, and we hope you are too. Hey, we are all so blessed, by the way. So far, this has not gotten catastrophic. There is no collapse right now, so we're very lucky. All right, wishing you well out there, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.